flew up here. Yeah, glided. It was beautiful.
We have no
mics.
No mics.
No mics.
No audio for now.
Yes, for now. So we're gonna play this like a stage play. We're gonna project towards the back. To hear or not to hear. That depends on where you're sitting. Matthew, how are you doing today, my friend?
I'm very well. This is a rare treat. I've never done a Thursday ever.
First time ever.
Ever.
Make some noise for
Looking forward to a nap. Just sort of relax at the table a little bit, and yet there's hundreds of you.
That's right. That's right.
But amazing. No, it's a great turnout. I'm having a lovely time.
I love it. I love it. Now, you've been in Orlando before, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Obviously, you are aware that there's like this little theme park place around the corner. It's got some Harry Potter-esque things. Have you been there?
Yeah, a couple of times.
Couple of times. Just out of curiosity, to give Universal a big shout out. Do you have any favorite places within the Harry Potter universe that you get to visit there?
Wow. Let's think. I mean, the whole thing is quite special.
It is.
I still love to this day the Forbidden Journey, the original one. Slightly self-serving, admittedly, I'm in that one.
I mean, don't be slow about it. Serve.
Which was nice. I just remember when that first, the feeling of when they first opened that and going to experience the park opening, and I've always been a huge theme park lover myself, an adrenaline junkie and all that. And never in my wildest dreams think that I would ever be part of a ride, and so that element was really quite impressive. Then also the technology of it at the time was unprecedented. It was really the first time anyone had done anything. I remember Robbie Coltrane and I were very privileged enough to be given a tour around NASA by a bunch of the engineers there at that time. And a load of the guys there, weirdly, I guess engineers kind of were all much of a muchness, and they were saying they knew a bunch of people who'd worked on the rides at Universal, and that they'd heard what they were doing with this that was just not been done before.
Amazing.
And that these guys at NASA couldn't wait to get on it and figure out how they were doing it. So that in itself was amazing. And then also just, because when we made the movies, you're on a film set that is incomplete. The very few of our sets, maybe 2 or 3, were complete. Most of them were half sets, because one entire half would be where the crew and the cameras all were, the lights and everything. So to have an actual complete 360 with a roof and all, that just didn't happen.
Wow.
Until Universal. So for many of us, I mean all of us actually, stepping into Hogsmeade and into the castle, as much as it was your first time, it was a lot of hours as well, because we didn't have that degree of completeness.
That's kind of amazing that the ride being such a more complete sort of piece. But I am curious, were there any things that the set actually had that the rides failed to pick up?
Oh gosh. Well, the wait times are similar.
Okay. It's behind the scenes feature.
Yeah. What did they have? There was a lot more nausea.
Okay.
In those early days.
Gotcha.
Than there were on set. No, honestly, I don't think so. I think they really captured it really, really well. I mean, even to the having so many of the actors involved, and as they added more of the rides, they added more members of the cast as well. And I don't even know why I'm in that ride.
What do you mean?
I don't even know why I'm in it. I've got nothing to do with it. And then inexplicably, I'm just at the end going,
If Neville isn't there, it's not a good one.
yeah, I suppose you're right. That's what they should do. That should be a new philosophy.
I think it is.
On the right.
Do you all agree?
Yeah. It was a strange day as well when they got me. I finished work. So I think I might even wear a wig. Because I'd finished work and I'd gone back to school maybe, or maybe I was at less school then, I don't know. And they suddenly said, we want to film this thing for Universal, but it's just going to be like you and Michael and Emma and So they brought us all in, like, after hours, like, you know, like on our summer holidays, they brought us in. And none of us are in, you know, all our haircuts and all this, because they put me in a wig, I think, and then I just for like 40 minutes, just... and then you nothing for years, and then suddenly it's in a row.
And it's
magic. I still don't know why it's there.
Well, thinking back on it, the time frame of the audition period for Harry Potter, huge to do in the UK for sure. So many people trying out auditioning for this. How did you get involved with your audition process? Who were you in contact with to be notified?
Well, nobody. I've been an actor since I was 5. So I'd been doing it for about 5 years at that point. And my performing arts group, it wasn't school, it was just like a group that I went to for an hour a week. I think they'd done open auditions, so anyone could go up and down the breadth of the country. And there happened to be one in Leeds, which is where I'm from, and so my local drama group had obviously been given notice of this, and so they basically said to everyone in the group, like, we're all going to collectively go down to the open auditions. And being a huge fan of the books, as I was at the time, I was thrilled about this. Just, you know, it was all over the news, of course. And so just the opportunity to go down was great. And up to that point, and this is less about me as an actor, it was more about just the age range that I was in. Up to that point, I've been pretty consistent in turning auditions into roles.
Okay.
I think at that age, it's kind of like, how good's your memory? And do you do as you're told?
Right.
And I was not bad at learning lines, but I was really good at doing as I was told. My mum would disagree, but the directors were right. And so I got a lot of work, and it was, and I guess what comes with that, you just assume, well, I'll probably get this as well. So we went along, and then 2 months passed without any word, nothing at all. Oh, are we on? Hello? Oh, no, we're not. I know, about 2 months passed without any word at all. And so I just, again, at this point, in terms of casting, was that
Hello? Oh, look at that. Okay, so at this point in my career, you invariably either found out the same day that you got the job, or within maximum 3 days. You know, for child actors, child roles, they didn't deliberate for very long. And so for 2 months to pass, you just assumed, well, obviously we've not done it.
Right.
And me being the one who I got everything, this was inexplicable to me. I sort of said to my mum, I said, as the story goes, she said, if it does well and they make a sequel, can I audition for that? She said, of course you can. And then, out of the blue, and it really was out of the blue at this point, they got in touch to say, would I like to come down to Leeds Studios where they'd be filming to meet Christopher Columbus for the role of Neville Longbottom. Wow. And that was enough for me.
Of course.
I at that point didn't even mind whether I got to film or not. I was going to get to go where they filmed it,
right.
Meet Chris, who I was aware of through his previous works, and I was going to get to go and see the sets, the locations. And obviously for a role like Neville, of which I was very aware from reading the first 4 books, I think, at that point. And so I went down to meet Chris, and at this point, the reason it took 2 months is that they whittled it really, really, really down. I mean, I think nationwide there were about 40,000 kids auditioned for all roles. Sure, sure. And I'd originally gone for anything. It was going to be anything. A hat stand in the background would have been fine. So at this point, I think they whittled it down to about 3, 4 kids. I think it might have been 3. I only remember meeting 2 other people, and one of them was Devon Murray, who ended up Shaver spinning it. Very nice. So we both got it. The 3rd kid, don't know much about him. He didn't make the cut. sucks, huh?
What did y'all do to be on?
No, nothing. I thought he was a shoe, and he was terribly handsome, I remember. And I'm thinking, well, he's definitely going to get it. He looks like he belongs in a Hollywood film. But he didn't.
It was Leonardo DiCaprio,
So we went there and we chatted with Chris and chatted about the character and all this kind of stuff. And he was amazing with kids. It never, even now I'm trying to remember it, it never felt like an audition.
Mm-hmm.
Chris would just talk to you. And then after that had gone well, we moved on to a screen test. And at this point is where you, for those unaware, when you do a screen test, they put you in all of the gear, and they put you in usually try and put you in a location that is accurate. More often than not nowadays, you're just on like a grey screen like this, which is great. But if you're fortunate, they'll put you on an actual location. And they did. So I was on the Gryffindor common room set, which had been finished at the time. And we did the I'll fight you scene in my teddy bear pajamas. And Chris played, I believe, Harry, Ron, and Hermione. And they film you, in character to see how you're going to look as that character on the big screen. And they still, they still do this for films now. I've done screen tests for various movies. It wasn't just for kids; they do it for adults as well. And yeah, I guess they liked it. And at that point, I was like, I've just stood on the Gryffindor common room set.
Awesome.
Like I've seen what it's going to look like.
Mm-hmm.
If this is as far as it goes, this is fine.
It's still a highlight.
But within 2 or 3 days, I got the call that that it was on, and they'd like me to play Neville. And that was that.
Now, obviously, you being a fan of the books, you know a number of things that are supposed to be happening in the movies. As the book series continues to come out after you've been cast, how hard are you looking for what Neville is up to, knowing that that's going to be something you have to do?
Yeah, that's a surreal thing, really, to know that what you're going to be doing in the future hasn't been written yet, but also will be released to the world at the same time it's released to you.
Right.
And it will be, it's fine that things aren't written because, you'll do series where you don't know what's going to happen in the next series. But usually, when you finally get the script, it's a few months or weeks,
right.
Days even before you start filming.
Right.
To have sort of book 7 come out when we just finished film 5 and know that it was going to be like 3 years before we got around to it was a very strange kind of thing. And also knowing, like I said, that you were reading alongside the rest of the world.
Right.
It's a very unusual thing. And I think as a fan, of which I was, I didn't read it as an actor first.
Okay.
I was able, thankfully, to still read it as a fan of the books and kind of lose myself and immerse myself in the world, thankfully. And then once you sort of turn the final page, you'd sort of go, huh. And then you flick back and you go and read it and go, wow, that's going to be amazing. I can't wait to do that. But yeah, I was able to detach the two, which was nice. And also, you've got to have a degree of healthy skepticism, I'd say, because invariably there's kind of 4 stages with making a book to film adaptation. Is okay, it's in the book, stage 1, brilliant. Is it going to make the screenplay?
Right. Stage
2. Are you ever going to get around to shooting it? Stage 3. And then will it make the final cut? Stage
right.
4. So there's various stages at which your hopes and dreams can be shattered. And so it's always healthy to just to be like, okay, that's amazing.
Right.
Neville kills Nagini and all this. Sorry, spoiler. But that might not even make it into the script.
Right.
So 3 years is a long time. And so you just wait and see. And then when you finally get sent that screenplay and you read it and you're just hoping like it's in there.
Yes.
But then there's still a couple more stages after that. Like in Goblet of Fire, and this wasn't a dream shattered. I insist it absolutely was not. But Bonnie and I spent months rehearsing a tango.
Oh.
That we were to do kind of after hours at the Yule Ball, and we never even shot it.
No.
We never mind not making the cut. We never shot it, months of torture that hours of my life I'll never get back. And alas, we never even got to put it on cellular.
But the friendship that you built with Bonnie is, I'm sure, so strong.
Yeah. Through just like mutual despising of the tango. She was brilliant. I mean, she was great. I think she's natural, but I very much not. So that was one that I was. Well, on one hand, you're thrilled you didn't have to film it.
Sure.
But on the other hand, it was a lot of effort, and I wish we'd at least been able to, do it one time.
That's more than fair. One of the things that I think is so amazing about Harry Potter is the range of characters that have a spotlight on them at any given time. And despite the fact that the series is in fact called Harry Potter, there was kind of a ongoing thread that maybe Neville was a little bit higher in the prophecy arc. And I want to know how you felt as an actor, knowing that there could have been the chance that actually was boosted up to fruition. Would that have been more interesting for you to play, to come in and kind of be the saving grace, where the whole time we thought it was Harry? What if it was Neville?
Yeah. This would have been very interesting to play with had I known about it at any point prior to finishing.
Fair.
Yeah. Despite being a fan, I wasn't clearly that much of a fan. That kind of wider lore had escaped me until someone told me one of these things, like years later, and I was like, that would have been useful information. And obviously now I completely agree with it. I mean, it's absolutely true, it's all there in black and white. But the question itself is interesting because I think you're right, the films do shine a light on various characters. Now that being said, I still feel and always have done, I've always felt that it was Dan Rupert and Emma's films. And I very rarely, if ever, refer to them as as my film or our films. Which I do with other projects that I've done in recent years. But with Harry Potter, I always kind of keep an arm's length in, and I always say those films that I was in, the films that I was in. Because it always just feels like it was their baby.
Okay.
And and I mean that in that they carried it. And I mean that they carried it in terms of their performances, but also in the way that they took the burden of the limelight as well. For those 10 years were incredibly high pressure.
Of course.
They couldn't put a foot wrong. The paparazzi were everywhere. Everyone wanted a piece of them. Certain sections of the British media, of which we're all, I'm sure, very aware, were desperate to be the first ones to catch them, in something,
right.
To see them fail at some point. And in your formative years, when we should all be allowed to make mistakes, that is incredibly difficult.
So true.
And that is in a way that the rest of us did not have to deal with. We did, but not to anywhere near the same level of scrutiny that those three did.
Sure.
And that is why, not because of screen time or anything, it's because that level of pressure and responsibility that was on their shoulders, I think they deserve to be acknowledged that it's their films. And they led those films. And I've always just wanted to give them that bit of that bit of credit for that, because we got to kind of ride along their coattails, really. We got to enjoy so much of the limelight and the red carpet without a fraction of the level of pressure and scrutiny that they did. And they handled it with aplomb as well, by the way, really wonderful people, the three of them. So, just to go back to your question, I never really, it would have been weird if I kind of at any point had felt like, well, actually Neville is the hero of this, so I should probably have a piece of that. So I never would have felt that. That said, I do think it's interesting, just character-wise, to look at the way the prophecy is, and I kind of, do we have any Buffy the Vampire Slayer fans? Helpful. Because I went to the convention with some younger people recently, and they did not know who Buffy the Vampire Slayer was.
Shame on them.
Yeah, I felt every bit of my 36 years. So in season 7, right? I'm such a loser. But anyway, in season 7, right?
Same place.
You know, we have the potential slayers, right?
Yes.
And they all could be the next Slayer, but only one of them will get chosen when the current Slayer dies. That's kind of what I thought of Neville and Harry. In terms of the prophecy could have been about either of them, but Voldemort, by going to Harry's, made, or you know, not like he made the choice, but the way the sequence of events happened, Lily, etc. Voldemort going to Harry's house made Harry the chosen one. But Neville was always a potential. He could have done it.
Yeah. Had
Had it gone the other way, it would have been a completely different story, a different adventure. We would have probably got it done quicker. That's by the by. But it's he could have and would have got it done, if that makes sense.
Absolutely, absolutely. And there's some fanfic out there that I know takes that path, and that's exciting. That's very exciting. I am going to open things up for you guys to ask some questions. We're going to figure out a way to do this because we don't have a microphone for it. But my last one to you, Matthew, is obviously Horcruxes are an interesting sort of concept for ways to delineate, split up your soul to keep yourself alive longer. If there were, we'll say 7 things that you would choose.
That's so many.
To create. All right, I'm just trying to give you some room here. I don't know how many family members you want to designate or anything. This is how I would do it. But okay, we'll do 3. We'll do 3
Okay.
Horcruxes. What would you?
Can you give me a brief rundown? It's been some years.
That's fair.
Okay. A brief rundown on the criteria of. Is it something that is meaningful to you? Is it something that you can hide easily? Is it something that, sort of, you know, inconspicuous? Like how?
We'll use those 2. Meaningful, but you could hide it if you needed to.
That is quite specific. I'm so glad we've gone from 7 to 3. And also presumably something that I don't want some obnoxious teenager trying to destroy.
I mean, generally speaking, that is true.
Okay. So I couldn't make my dog because I don't want, you know.
Clearly, you know firsthand that making pets Horcruxes is a bad plan.
Right, no, exactly. I don't want some teenager to behead my dog.
It's so dark.
Oh gosh. Okay. Let's think. I'm trying to think what I've got in my safe at home.
No, it's not in his safe at home. That's not where it is.
Yeah, no,
somewhere
gosh,
else.
yeah. Wait, who's trying to kill me? I don't know, my green card.
Okay.
Because I need that.
That's a good one.
I really need that.
That's a good one.
It took me ages to get it.
Yes.
And I'm quite protective of it. And if you destroyed it, they'd kick me out.
Immediately.
So, you know, don't do that.
Yeah, please don't. Please don't.
Yeah, that's one.
Okay.
Oh, you still want me to do 2 more?
I mean, that's a pretty high level one. So it's the final boss one.
What else? I don't have anything that I... yeah, because that doesn't come off, so that's useful.
Yes.
My wedding ring. Because you'd have to get through me to get to that.
There you go. Come on.
Okay, thank you for that. Helpful. Anyone else wants to offer any guidance? Here would be useful.
Okay, so the little bit that I know of you, I would say a bookmark. Because you're a voracious reader.
I am.
And perhaps that would be something that so inconspicuous, no one would truly understand how valuable it was.
I always have it with me.
Always have it with you.
Yeah, that's true. I don't always have it with me, but I do always have my Steam Deck with me.
Okay.
So maybe I can have my Steam Deck. Like, I really want someone to break that.
Yeah, no.
Really annoying. But that is the criteria, though. Something precious.
Right.
Okay, yeah, we'll say my Steam Deck.
Okay. All right. Good choices. He's gonna like lament over this for the rest of the
It's
week.
dreadful.
I should have picked my parents or something. I don't know. We have questions. Okay, this is what we're gonna try to do, and hopefully I don't break this. Miss Bonnie, do you mind being the point person? You guys are gonna come line up with Miss Bonnie to ask a question.
So just a heads up, before you ask any kind of Harry Potter lore questions, just remember how I just answered that, alright?
More than welcome to pick up and answer. You know.
Hi. My husband and I have been
Hello.
watching Murder Before Evensong.
Lovely.
Which we have just found really wonderful. Is there going to be a possibility of series 2? Has anyone commissioned that yet? Or can you not talk about that?
I can't really talk about it.
No.
I mean, I can tell you that the Reverend Richard Coles, who wrote the books, just went on British TV about 2 weeks ago and said there is.
Oh, cool.
There you go.
But I didn't say that, and I don't know anything about it. So I am just quoting a man of the cloth.
There you go.
Absolutely.
So take that, as gospel. I have no idea. No, I have no idea. I actually genuinely have no idea. So just base it on that.
It's a great show.
Well, I'm glad you loved it. Thank you. You didn't say love. I put those words in your mouth. Yes, I'm glad you liked it.
Hi, you mentioned you have a Steam Deck. I was just curious what your favorite games are and if you've ever played maybe like some Genshin Impact.
Oh, I mean, I've dabbled, but no, that's not really. That's not my traditional cup of tea. I'm much more of a single player, story driven player.
That's the perfect game for it.
It's a bit more, yeah, it's kind of MMOE and lots of microtransactions.
Fair enough.
What am I playing right now? I just finished, this is so embarrassing, I said this to someone earlier because it came out so many years ago and I'm such a huge fan of the company and the game. But for various reasons I never finished it, but I just finished Phantom Liberty, the Cyberpunk expansion, which was really quite breathtaking. I really enjoyed that. I'm playing like 4 different games right now. I'm doing my 4th run of Baldur's Gate 3. I'm playing Slay the Spire 2, which just came out on early access and is amazing. I'm replaying Witcher 3. And what else am I playing? I just started up something else on PlayStation today. Echoes of the End, I think it's called.
So you're at the right con. You're at the right
Am I really? I'll talk about video games. This is all I do is video games. All I do. Yeah.
Hello,
Hey.
my name is Eternal Zan, and my question is...
Eternal Zen.
Yeah, that's my nickname. In
Lovely.
case any of my friends are in the audience. My question is, we've heard there's going to be a new Harry Potter TV series, and I'm wondering, with the perspective you have now, if there's any advice you have for the audience or the actors, or your thoughts on the new show. Because we're living in a very different time now.
Well, how do I attack this? Three questions really, wasn't it? Because it was kind of for you, for the actors, for what was the third one? My opinions on it. Well, I mean, in terms of the actors, I'll get that one out of the way first. Absolutely nothing at all. I do not want to sully any of their work with the has-beens opinions. I just don't. No, seriously. No, because we were under, like I mentioned earlier, degree of scrutiny. Okay, trying to make a book that was so beloved of so many people. Anytime you try and turn some well-loved source material into an adaptation, you're under scrutiny. They have that, plus also the added scrutiny of adapting what we did. And I just absolutely do not want to add any fuel to it. I just want them to be allowed to do their own thing. They're kids, you know what I mean? And I just want them to be allowed to succeed. And the best way I think that they can do that is if we just keep our mouths shut. It's their thing, let them do it. And so I don't want to say anything to them. Is it really? Okay.
How do you feel, and it's the advice, so...
Amazing.
Yeah.
And for you guys, I've got nothing for you. I got nothing for you. I mean, I got asked in an interview, I was doing some press for my last show, and I think a newspaper asked me, and I said, look, the first person who's going to get my opinion on this will be my therapist. It'll be a double session. He's just going to see like dollar signs in his eyes. He's going to be like, great. let's unpack this I haven't thought about it because it's a weird thing to imagine kind of 10 years of your life and then someone else playing a character that's very close to your heart and all that kind of thing. So I haven't actually sat down and unpacked that yet. And I ain't gonna do it in front of you. And until I do that, I can't really offer you any advice. I hope you like it.
There you go. Can I recommend that the second person that you unpack to?
Oh, really?
To save you some money, talk to your wife first.
Oh yeah, she could not care less. Sick of it.
Hi, I'm Delilah.
Hi, Delilah.
Nice to meet you. So my question would be, considering you spent so many years of your life as his character, and essentially, as you said, grown up with him and as him, what qualities from Neville do you think you're going to take with you for the rest of your life? And what do you hope we and our children and future generations will be able to gather from him?
Oh wow.
That's a great question.
Yeah, it is actually.
Are you a therapist?
I mean, he's the best of us, really, isn't he? I mean, he's someone who. The idea of him being absolutely terrified of his own shadow, I think, is really interesting because it comes. We can psychoanalyze where that comes from. His overbearing grandmother, the loss of his parents, and all this kind of stuff. It's more of a shattering of his self-confidence, I think, that caused that. But that's not the question. But because he has that, and yet still has an unwavering faith in the right thing, I think is the most important aspect of his personality. In that being brave and courageous is not being fearless, it's quite the opposite. It's being terrified but doing what needs doing anyway. And Neville kind of epitomizes that. Making in fact, there's a quote in my last show that I'm about to butcher because I forget my lines immediately as soon as I've shot the scene. But he alluded, basically, to paraphrase, he sort of says, doing the right thing when it's easy it's only meaningful when it's hard, and that's kind of what Neville does. And he has so many opportunities. Him being a pureblood, if that's whatever you want to call it, gives him a way out. He has that. Voldemort gives him that way out, and yet he still refuses to take it. And when he steps forward, he knows ultimately he's stepping to his death at that point. He can't stand up to Voldemort. He's unaware that he's going to pull this sword out of the hat. He is stepping forward, in his mind, to his death, knowing that from it may come something good. He might give some kind of impetus and courage to his friends around him. The ultimate sacrifice. And I just think that's coming from that character. If it had come from any others, it would have been great, but to come from him is extraordinary. And he kind of shows that all the way through the films. When he stands up to the trio in the first movie, when he stands up to Malfoy, all these times he's been the butt of so many jokes, and yet at no point. I mean, Neville has he could easily have had the villain origin story. But that's the weak way out. He takes the strong route, which is to stay true and stay good. I admire that. I don't think that I would have the same conviction. I'd like to believe, and we'd all like to believe that we would, but when put on the spot, who knows? And so I think if I was to take anything from him, is that doing the right thing when it's hard, and refusing to compromise on your ideals. I think. If that's not too pretentious.
We're getting tight on time, are we not, Miss Connie?
Yeah.
I'm going to ask, after this question, anyone that is 12 and under, can they get bumped up so they can ask the question next, and then we'll try to get to the last person.
I'll try and be quick, I'll stop waffling.
Hi. Hi, my name's Evelyn.
Hey.
And I was wondering, what was your favorite scene to film, and what scene you're like most looking forward to?
My favourite scene to film was probably the Deathly Hallows Part 2 when we blew up the bridge. Reasons were, I'm blowing up a bridge, it's amazing. We shot it on the 007 soundstage at Pinewood Studios where they make James Bond. So any day that we were allowed out of Leavesden, because Leavesden sucks, so any day we were allowed outside of Leavesden Studios was awesome. Going to Pinewood, even cooler, and then on the 007 stage. And the reason we had to go there was because it was the only soundstage in the country big enough to actually build a large section of bridge that we then blew up twice. And so that was absolutely, and also, it's all about you. I get to be blowing it up, and it's the cameras on me. And the thing about actors, we can all be very, very self-effacing and all that kind of stuff, but we love it when it's all about us. We love it. And so having that scene kind of all about Neville was really great. The one I was most looking forward to was the entire section, I think, of the of Order of the Phoenix when we go to London and we do the Ministry of Magic, because it was the first time when Neville got to be involved in that kind of the final battle sequence stuff. You know how much I love video games and fantasy and sci-fi, and I grew up loving Star Trek and all that kind of stuff. Everyone wants to be a Starfleet captain, but you want to be the first officer going on the away team, right? So finally, I got to be on the away team, and we got to go to the Ministry of Magic and work on that set. And Rafe was there, and Michael's there, and I get to fire a spell in anger for the first time. Not just in a classroom. I get to actually do it. I got to see Dan do for 5 years now. So that was the one I was most looking forward to.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Holland, and I was wondering what your favorite line was from the series.
Ooh. Does it have to be mine? Or could it be anyone's? It has to be mine, okay. Who's that on your hand?
Oh, this is my dragon.
Amazing. My favourite line of all of my... I hate Neville's lines. Because I'm just a bad actor, and I don't like watching myself, and so all the lines are just like, oh, this is dreadful. What would I like about Neville's lines? I guess why is it always me has become a bit of a catchphrase, I suppose. So we'll say that. But can I tell you what my favourite line from the whole series is? My phone. It's I don't know why. I don't know where it came from, and this is so, I hope none of you ever catch me doing this. But me and my best mate Nick, we developed this thing inexplicably. We never came up with it. It just happened one day. And I've only seen the films once, so I don't know why it happens. But whenever one of us is waiting on the other, and he's like, "Oh, can you just wait a second?" I'm like, "I did my waiting, 12 years of it in Azkaban." I don't know why. Yeah.
Well, this is Bella, and she just wants to know if you've ever played the Lego Harry Potter game on PlayStation.
No. No. Oh, I'm sorry, Bella. Yeah, and I should. I've not played any of the Lego games. I have Lego Horizon, I think, but I haven't played it. The reason why I think I haven't played the Lego... No, I'm getting confused now. Several years ago, they asked me to be in a Lego Dimensions video game. Which, do you know that one? Is that, do we play that one? Okay. And I went and did it, and I voiced it, and I was like, how old do you want Neville to be? And they're like, oh, the first couple of films. I'm like, I'm 26.
I think he's acting, Matthew. Come on.
So I tried watching the first movie, and I watched 40 minutes of it until my big silly face came on. I was like, no, I'm done, and I turned it off. So I just had to wing it, and I just went in and I did something. I don't know if I'm in. Am I in? Is Neville in it? They might have cut it. I would. It's in there. But just in case it rears its ugly head, I've not played them. Yeah.
You have to now.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
if someone can confirm that it's been cut, I'll play it.
Fair. Done. Congratulations. Megacon, join me one more time in celebrating Mr. Matthew Lewis. If you did not get a chance to ask the question, come see him all weekend, ask away there at his booth. Thank you guys for joining us. Let's go Megacon!
I'm actually only Thursday, Friday. I've got to watch a football match on Saturday. Sorry.
Once again, make sure you're leaving.
Thank you.